Many people in Kevin Durant's camp wanted him to join the New York Knicks in 2019, and it just came out that his agent, Rich Kleinman, was one of those people. So we're going to talk about this and break down why the New York Knicks are better off that this did not happen. So let's just jump right into the video, guys. What's up? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to waste no time because we need to talk about this. We're sick of being the rumor mill channel. We're getting into some different stuff. Hope you guys like this. Because in an interview with the boardroom, Rich Kleinman, Kevin Durant's agent and manager, told KD to set the record straight that he wanted him to join the Knicks, and what KD said is, "You definitely did, more than anything," and then later mentioned that his dad and aunts also wanted him to join the Knicks, and on top of that, he also finally set the record straight on saying the Knicks aren't cool, but we'll get into that a little bit later, because as we know, Kevin Durant's dad wanted him to join the Knicks, which did come out at the time from Brandon Scoop B. Johnson, but not too many people believed it was true. It was. In a Bleacher Report article written a couple of years back now, what was said is that Kevin Durant's father met with the New York Knicks brass in 2019 and attempted to persuade his son to abandon his plan to sign in Brooklyn to become a Knick, meaning one, KD already knew he was going to Brooklyn, and also Bondi then said that he obtained a copy of Can't Knock the Hustle, a book by Matt Sullivan which details the clandestine meeting. Durant was unaware that the meeting took place and was angry that his dad did that because he didn't want his pops screwing with the plan. Wayne Pratt, Kevin Durant's dad, allegedly met with Knicks executives Steve Mills and Scott Perry, thank God they're still not, which constituted a violation of the NBA's tampering rules. Who cares? Tampering is basically legal, or you lose 2 second-round picks to land the best point guard in the Eastern Conference, if you know what I'm saying. Pratt is a lifetime Knicks fan who felt Durant was selling him short, signing with the Nets rather than the Knicks, and then reportedly told KD, "This is the Mecca. If you want to do it big. If you want to be a New Yorker, be a Knick." Now, look, Wayne Pratt has spent more time in New York than Kevin Durant has, and we're not going to get into Kevin Durant's relationship with his dad because it's complicated. We're Knicks Digest. KD never played for the Knicks, and it's also very personal to their family, and I don't feel like talking about that. But what we will say is that KD's dad, Wayne Pratt, has a house out in Long Island that his son bought for him, and that is where it all went down. That is why Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, and Draymond Green were known as the Hamptons Five, because the 4 of them, who are not KD, met KD in the Hamptons and basically persuaded him to join the Golden State Warriors once upon a time. Now, KD went back to Long Island, back home with his dad, who he trusts, who he's very close with, to basically make his free agency decision, though his mind was already made up on joining Brooklyn. Now, here's the deal. Kevin Durant was going to announce his decision at 6 p.m. the day of free agency. He was not going to waste a second. He was instantly going to sign. He knew his move. He knew he was going to be a Brooklyn Net. We didn't know where he was going, but it came out that he would announce it on the boardroom. Now, I don't know how Woj found out, but Woj found out. And then what Woj tweeted out is that Kevin Durant intends to join the Brooklyn Nets when free agency begins, and I punched a wall. That is a true story. I just graduated high school, and I was furious. Beyond belief. The team that has no fans got Kevin Durant, and then they got fans, and, well, then they lost all of them, and the Knicks are good and better than the Nets ever were. So, what are you going to do? That's how life goes. But look, the Knicks obviously made the right call not signing Kevin Durant, though it wasn't really their decision, though James Dolan may or may not have prevented the Knicks from giving Durant a max contract. I refuse to believe that is true. I think the Knicks offered him one and then just wanted to save face, and instead looked even worse, because before Leon Rose came into play, James Dolan was still involved with the Knicks. Leon Rose comes in and is like, "Yeah, you're not touching anything. You're not doing anything. You're letting me do the work. I'm going to make this team good." And that's exactly what Leon Rose did, and he was right to do so. Now, I understand how much we all wanted KD at the time. I did. I would still love for Kevin Durant to be on the Knicks. Why? Because he's good at basketball, and he would help the Knicks win the NBA Finals. But that Nets team was an utter disappointment beyond belief. And I actually just talked about this recently on a different video involving Mikal Bridges being bummed out that he plays for the Nets, like most people would be, especially if their friends played for the Knicks. So I'm not going to really go that into depth on this. But what I will say is that it's not Kevin Durant's fault that things went poorly. It's Kyrie Irving's fault, and it's also a little bit KD's fault. They shouldn't have hijacked the team. They shouldn't have made them fire Kenny Atkinson and hire Steve Nash to essentially just be a figurehead. They probably should not have traded for James Harden, though I guess they were nearly a 500 team when that happened, and that's why it happened. But it's whatever. What the hell are you going to do? I don't really care at all because the Nets are going to be bad for the next, 15 years probably. True story. But KD clarified the Knicks Are Cool comments finally after all these years, which I do care about. And he said at the time the Knicks weren't cool. But they are a cool brand. But the team was not cool to play for. The team was not cool to watch. Now, to side with Kevin Durant here, he's correct. I don't know too many people who are tuning in on a nightly basis to watch Dennis Smith Jr., Damian Dotson, Kevin Knox, Noah Vonleh, and Taj Gibson, with Mitchell Robinson as the best player as their sixth man, playing more minutes than Taj Gibson, but Fizdale likes putting Mitch on the bench because he thought Mitch was better that way, but David Fizdale also is an idiot when it comes to being a head coach, so I wouldn't trust a word that man says, but that is what the Knicks did, and not too many people, I don't know anyone who, oh yeah, I had no life in high school, so I watched it, but for real, though, the Knicks were terrible. There's a reason why stars didn't want to go there. The Knicks were a disaster. The Knicks have done a great job turning things around and have once again become cool. And a lot in part of that is due to what they did do in 2019, which is sign Julius Randle. Julius Randle was a tremendous player for the New York Knicks and still has been. He's made his third All-Star team this year. In 5 years of being a New York Knick, he has been an All-Star 3 times. He's been on the All-NBA team twice. He's not going to make it this year. He missed too much time with an injury. It is what it is. It's okay. He'll be on one again. But with Julius, he was able to bring the Knicks back to life. He was able to give the Knicks hope. The Knicks thrusted themselves into contention, realizing, screw it, don't build around RJ and IQ and all them. We're going to make this team good now. They get Jalen Brunson. Brunson breaks out on an unbelievable level, becomes the best point guard in the Eastern Conference, and here we are. So it worked out better for the Knicks this way because KD and Kyrie are now older. KD is now, once again, not on a team where he's the leader, which is perfectly fine. No one's saying he has to be. He just should have been able to be good enough to be the best player and leader of a championship team at some point in his career, and it is a disappointment that he never was. And Kyrie Irving is actually the weirdest person I have ever seen in basketball. The man is absurd. I'm not saying I dislike the guy. I'm not saying I like the guy. I don't really care that much about who Kyrie Irving is as a person. I like to watch him play basketball, and I think he's a freak, but I don't think he's overwhelmingly a bad person. He donated his entire salary before to charity. He's done that a few times. At heart, good dude, but super strange. Happy he didn't come with the Knicks and screw everything up, because Kyrie Irving is the man who destroyed the Brooklyn Nets when it comes down to it. Him not playing a bunch of times made things weird. It made James Harden look at them and see a dysfunctional franchise and get the hell out of there to Philly. Who knew that James Harden, also interesting guy, happened again, now on the Clippers, but he's good with them. He's not putting up James Harden numbers, but he's good with them, so I guess it all worked out, whereas the Knicks, we have built the correct way. We're going to have 8 first-round draft picks to trade this year, and most importantly, now we're cool. Something that Mark J. Spears had to say about Durant's drama with the Nets, he said it wouldn't have happened with the Knicks, and explained why Kevin Durant never joined the Knicks, and it was their inability to win. What Spears said is, I think it would have done wonders for him in his career and for the spotlight in New York, but with the weight of 50 years and not having won a championship, dealing with the back pages and all that, I think it has scared New York from getting a marquee guy that is a top 15 jersey seller, and perennial all-star. And look, that's perfectly fair, but now the Knicks have done that naturally, which is how teams win championships. You do it naturally. I know that Jalen Brunson didn't get drafted by the Knicks, but he developed into who he is as a New York Knick. Julius Randle has done the same. They're not exactly homegrown, but they're also not homegrown players. We have gotten guys who have broken out under Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose. We've gotten guys who have broken out under this regime, and it has changed the direction of the New York Knicks. Now, this is exactly what Kevin Durant said on the Old Man and the Three with J.J. Redick when talking about signing with the Nets and not wanting to be the savior of the Knicks. He said, I didn't want to be the savior of the Knicks or New York. I didn't care about being the king of New York. That never really moved me. I didn't care about being on Broadway. I wanted to just play ball and go to the crib and chill, and that's what Brooklyn embodied. And, I mean, he's right. Brooklyn has no fans, so it's easy to do that, whereas the Knicks, it's a little different. Unfortunately, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle have now become superstars in New York. And by superstars, I don't fully mean they're like top players. Well, Brunson is. Randle, clear perennial all-star. But I wouldn't call Julius Randle an NBA superstar. But he is a New York celebrity for sure and one of the best athletes in New York. So what we're seeing is guys become stars with the Knicks. And we've seen the Knicks turn this regime around in only a few years, which is so impressive with what they started with. Leon Rose started with such a disastrous team and completely flipped the script. And now the Knicks are good. And now, when we're looking at the summer, when there's any team that wants to get a star, the Knicks are going to be at the top of so many lists because now the Knicks are cool again. After Durant saying that's not really what's cool in New York. Sorry, wrong. Did not mean to press that. Durant said the Knicks are not really what's cool, and they weren't. And now they are. And that's fine with KD. There's no animosity towards him. There's no animosity towards the Nets, really, because they're not good enough to have any anger at. But shout out to Leon Rose for pulling this off. Shocking that the Knicks were able to turn it around like this. I think if you saw what happened 4 years ago with that free agency decision, you would have assumed the Knicks would still be struggling to do anything and the Nets would probably have a championship by now. But obviously that's not what happened. The Nets are struggling to do anything and the New York Knicks are getting pretty close to winning a championship at this point. So, shout out to Leon Rose. Part of the reason why I wanted to make this video, but also because it's just a fun topic. Let me know if you guys like these videos. We can't just keep doing trade videos all the time. I see the comments. I see that you guys are getting a little bored of it. Let me know what else you want to see on Knicks Digest. We will make the videos. If I don't believe in something that gets commented, like the constant comment of, talk about Melo and Linsanity. Well, Jeremy Lin sucked, so sorry. He was good for 3 weeks and then wasn't good again. Sorry. No one else is going to say it? I will. Jeremy Lin was not that good. Carmelo Anthony was. There's your video, Joe Patterson. Outside of that, let me know what you guys want to see below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Comment, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Means the world. And go Knicks.